Monday morning. This one is dedicated to the strength coaches out there, and I want to talk about business strategies and why I'm still doing strength coach masterminds, why I provide, business courses. And I've said it for a while. My big business seminar, it was called Operation Thunder, the Warehouse Gym Project. I'm going to have to redo it as a live seminar. And here's what I've realized. A lot of strength coaches shutting down their gyms because they don't want to deal with people, and then they go and train other strength coaches. And what I learned from that is it's not solving any problems. It's just avoiding the challenge and doing what's easier for them, which, hey, I don't blame you. But ultimately, we have these kind of two dichotomies. We have a lot of people opening up gyms who are not great at coaches, but maybe have good business knowledge. We have a little bit of the opposite of that. People who are not at all good at business, but very good at coaching, and so they suffer as well. And then we've got some people in the middle, not good at business and not good at coaching, not good at relationships, and they open up gyms. So what I found is there needs to be both things going on, at least from me, because I love coaching. I love seeing the lives that it changes. I mean, to me, I even was at my last mastermind and I said, I want to get to a point where my business outside of the gym is making an income where I don't even have to charge people to train at my gym. It's completely free. On the flip side, not everybody values free. So not that it's the best idea, but it's just the way I want to do it. So here's a couple of things that have helped me run the Underground Strength Gym. We've got 2 locations. There was a time where I had 4 locations. 2 of them were essentially like satellite locations. They were inside of other sport facilities. And last year, I spoke, and a little over a year ago, I spoke with a lot of big names in the fitness industry, people who had these large gyms or multiple locations of large gyms. And on the surface, it looked amazing. And we had conversations where they essentially said to me, listen, when I had one gym, I had more fun, I had less stress, I was managing less people, I was impacting people on a more personal level versus trying to manage all these other gyms. And they said, I've got more gyms and I've got more overhead, more expenses, and less profit. So what we see on the surface and what you perceive is not always really what's going on. I see my man Rich Gray. It's hard, guys. I can't really answer your questions while I'm driving, so feel free to DM the questions. And check out the story before where I gave some other business tips. So here's what I learned. As somebody who's a very deep-rooted coach, like I love coaching. That's why I'm back in the schools, so I could get back into coaching and help build a system of training inside the schools. Because you see, the last 7 or 8 years, I've had so many coaches say to me, Rich Gray in Australia, amazing, my man. It must be summertime in Australia because it's 34 degrees here in New Jersey. So coaches were telling me 7, 8 years ago that they were losing athletes to these mandatory high school weight room workouts, and everybody was frustrated. That coach doesn't know what he's doing. These kids don't do the proper technique. And listen, I am with you. It's not like that everywhere, but it is an unfortunate truth. A kid that we train for 2 months did not train with us during football season. He came back while he's benching. Once he gets fatigued, he doesn't touch his chest. He gets fatigued, he starts opening his hand on the barbell while he's grinding out reps. Very dangerous things that are just, stuff that slips the common eye of an unqualified strength coach. So I said, you know what? I can be part of this problem where everybody's complaining, or I could be part of the solution. I could get back into the schools. I can help create a system in the schools. Maybe it'll work in the school district I'm in, maybe it won't work. And but I think that saying of Gandhi is like, be the change that you want to see. So instead of complaining about it, you have to be about it. Now, outside of that, the things I do at the independent level of the underground strength gym, not inside the schools, but it was certainly a system when I was at the university, is you need a training system. What happens in the training when somebody shows up? So what happens on their first day, and what happens during their first few weeks? What's the introductory look like? Then what does the next level, level 2, or the intermediate level look like? How do we progress them from where they start to where we want them to be and where they need to be? And number 3, where is the place we want to get them training at that is exactly where we want them to be? It's our training methods full force. So you need a training system. And you get that by learning a lot from other coaches, from experienced coaches. You could see in my blog and my YouTube many videos on, if you search favorite strength and conditioning books, favorite bodybuilding books, favorite training books, look that stuff up on my blog. You'll see the articles and videos. And I basically took my influence from my experience and my training methods and the people that have influenced me the most. And that's how I came up with our system. So that's number 1. Number 2, let's navigate through crazy Jersey drivers. Number 2, what about the business system? How do people find out about you? What happens before they step into your gym? What happens during the time that they're at your gym, whether it's the workouts, the communication you have with them in the gym, the communication you have with them outside of the gym, and what happens if they leave? What kind of follow-up systems do you have to stay in touch with them? So it's a before, during, and after process that a guy that I learned this from, his name is Dean Jackson. And you don't hear me saying, I created this, I started this. You hear me more so saying, I'm always learning from other people. I'm always picking up their success lessons, their clues of success, and adopting it and applying it to my business. And way back in the day, the first mastermind that I was ever part of, I remember it was on the phone, weekly phone calls. This is back in the day of dial-up internet service. The guy that was in charge of our mastermind kept saying this: low hassle, high profit. And I think I got a little bit away from that the past few years. And it was always front of mind, and then it got a little bit back of mind. But low hassle, high profit is how you want to run your business. Having a bigger square foot facility does not make your gym better. Having more locations does not make it better. Like I said, I was up to 4 locations, 3 main locations, Edison, Manasquan, Scotch Plains, then a satellite location inside a baseball facility. Even with my systems dialed in, it just gave me more headaches and less profit. So write this down: low hassle, high profit. Look at everything going on in your business, and if it's not low hassle, high profit, give it the axe, get rid of it. The other thing that I want to talk about is I leverage technology. So 4 years ago, I started using Bodyweight for my gym. And I was the first strength and conditioning coach to use Bodyweight. Before that, Bodyweight was being utilized for CrossFit facilities, not so much strength and conditioning like myself. The ability to get rid of paper and to get rid of headaches of my gym and tracking payments and attendance and scheduling through paper was ruining our coaching, because I was asking coaches to do business stuff that they shouldn't have been doing. And it turned me into a businessman first and a coach second. I didn't like that. When I implemented Bodyweight, I remember looking through all of the papers of payments. And I had a conversation with my buddy who said, man, one day out of the month, I just discipline myself and look at all the payments and handle all the business side of things. And I was like, man, I've been avoiding that because I just want to coach. So I went through the papers and I saw people, parents, that had not paid anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So we're talking about, on average, $200 a month. So that's $600 to $1,200 per person was not being paid. And people know when they're not paying, right? I take my kids to many different sport instructional activities, and I know when I have to pay, and I don't try to avoid it. But it was pretty interesting to see how many people were like, hey, he didn't ask for it, let's not pay. Imagine if you work at a bank or a policeman or a nurse or a restaurant. How would you like to work for 3 months without getting paid? Oh, you know, nobody told me, so I won't pay. It doesn't work that way. So I utilized Bodyweight, and I created every system in Bodyweight that gave me a headache. It answered the headaches. Credit card expiring, send them notifications. Payment didn't go through, send a notification. Liability forms, paperwork, get rid of paper, do everything online. Boom, I got rid of every headache, and it just transformed my business and big time increased my income, and I became a coach again. I don't even have, at my one location, there's no front desk manager, there's none of that. I have a virtual assistant who does minimal work, that does outreach for billing stuff, but we also have a system for that. Somebody doesn't, you know, after 4 notices of them not paying and not hearing back, canceled, done. Somebody cancels a membership early and they sign up for a long-term membership, we follow up with them. Do we chase them down for money? No, you're just never allowed to come back. Honesty and integrity over money. So the things I implemented, guys: low hassle, high profit, leveraging technology, systems into the training and the business side of things. And then the overarching factor is I got back to being in mastermind groups so I could think big. Before the few years that I was out of masterminds, I caught myself stressing out more, thinking smaller, thinking quote unquote normal. And the last thing you want to do when you run a business is to think normal and to run a business as normal. Just like training, normal actions equals normal results equals average. And last but not least, I am not going to follow suit of the coaches who once upon a time had gyms and said, you know what, this business sucks, let's get out of it, let's just train coaches who own gyms. You're only contributing to the problem. You're running away from your headaches and you're contributing to the problems. And strength coaches, warehouse gym owners who want to train athletes, now more than ever, you need to be in business, coaching, mastermind groups, because you're going to keep getting better at training and you're going to keep struggling with the business. And ultimately, that's going to be the stress that hurts your family, hurts your life. And, you know, the past few months, past year and a half, I have seen so many coaches who are announcing that they're shutting down their gym. Some of them can't sell the gym. And they said it's just too much emotional and physical strain and stress. And there's certainly stress involved, but there's ways to transform and control your business so that you make the business work for you, whereas other people, the business is running them. The business is bossing them around and crushing their life. So, Strength Coach Brotherhood, which is a mastermind, is open. If you want to get part of it, send me a DM. I'm shutting down registration right after Thanksgiving, and it's going to be powerful. It's all online, so it doesn't matter where you live around the world. And Strength Coach Brotherhood in full effect. I'm excited for it. DM me if you want to be part of it. If you're not watching this on Instagram and it's on Facebook or YouTube, just send me an email. undergroundstrengthcoach@gmail.com, and you should be on the Strong Life Insider. That's my newsletter. Go to ZachEvanish.com, hit the start here button. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.